Title: AITA for embarrassing my best friend during our weekly trivia night? My 26. Male. Best friend Dave, 27. Male. Has been my ride or die since high school. We've been through thick and thin, pulling each other out of more misadventures than I can count. Like the time we tried to build a backyard catapult out of old bike parts and ended up redecorating the neighbor's greenhouse. But that's a story for another day. Anyway, Dave and I have this long-standing tradition of trivia on Friday nights at our local pub, the Tipsy Scholar. It's a big deal for us. We form a team, the Know-It-Owls, and strategize like we're planning a heist for context. Dave is one of those guys who knows a lot about a lot. Or at least he thinks he does. He's always been the dude who corrects you if you say a movie came out in 2002 when it actually premiered in 2001. The pub's trivia night is a battle royale of wits, where 20 teams compete for the ultimate prize, a golden trophy shaped like an oversized brain and, more importantly, bragging rights for a full week. It's hyper-competitive to the point where alliances form and dissolve over the course of a single night. People get passionate about this. No joke. Last Friday was the quarterly Champions Tournament, where the stakes were higher than ever. Dave and I were on fire from round one. And honestly, I'd never seen him so pumped. We were neck and neck with our main competitors, the Quizlamic State, led by our arch-nemesis Becky, a trivia whiz who can recall the capital of every obscure nation in her sleep. Everything was going smoothly until we reached the final question of the night. What is the most common element in the Earth's atmosphere? Dave confidently whispered to me. Oxygen. For sure. We got this in the bag. I hesitated, a vague memory from high school science class creeping in. But who was I to question the human encyclopedia himself? Time was ticking, and in a moment of reckless abandon, I wrote down nitrogen. The quizmaster scanned our answers and awarded the point to the Quizlamic State. Cue the classic cinematic gasp from the audience. Dave's face turned a shade of red I'd never seen before. You'd think I'd just stolen a candy bar from a kid. Nope. It was worse. I had cost us the trivia title. As we left the pub with our heads hung low, Dave didn't speak a word. My futile attempts at humor to lighten the mood, like comparing our loss to a minor yet tragic sitcom episode, went unnoticed. When I dropped him off, he only muttered, "See ya," and disappeared into his apartment, thinking the storm would pass with time. I didn't anticipate the aftermath. Dave's silence persisted well into the week. No text messages about funny cat videos. No morning espresso memes. It was as if our friendship was an old VHS tape stuck on pause. In a bid to mend things, and armed with freshly baked apology cookies for added measure, I went over to Dave's place to clear the air. What I didn't expect was walking into an intervention of sorts. His girlfriend Emma, 27, female, and another mutual friend Lisa, 26, female, were sitting with arms crossed and expressions of mild disappointment. It was like being summoned to the principal's office. But Dave didn't appear to be the instigator. Emma started. "We're worried that you sometimes undermine Dave, especially when it comes to his knowledge. You make a joke out of it." The surprise was tangible, like finding a cat in a dog park. Now, I should mention here that Dave is belovedly known in our circle for sometimes being, well, wrong. Most of us give him a hard time out of affection. But apparently, I had crossed some invisible line. Lisa chimed in, gently stating, "Dave was really upset over the trivia thing. He feels you embarrassed him on purpose. Like you wanted to prove him wrong." I felt like I'd been doused in ice water. Here I was, thinking we'd lost a game. But apparently, I'd violated some cardinal rule of friendship. Surprisingly, Dave wasn't even there. He'd gone for a walk to avoid any confrontation. Classic. since he hates any sort of conflict unless it's on-screen between kaiju in a Godzilla movie. Emma suggested I give him some time. He'll come around, she said with a reassuring pat. Update. A few days later, Dave finally initiated contact, begrudgingly asking if we could talk. We met at our favorite park bench, where you have to swat away pigeons more than talk. Dave admitted he felt hurt not just by the trivia incident, but by what seemed to him a pattern. He thought it was about the trivia, but his soul-searching had unearthed a deeper sentiment. He didn't like being the butt of jokes all the time. I apologized, acknowledging my goof-ups, but I also told him I thought our banter was mutual, the same kind we'd always had. I'd never meant to actually undermine him. If anything, I respected his breadth of knowledge, even if it sometimes missed the mark. The conversation was awkward at times. A conversational dance we hadn't practiced before. But it seemed to lighten something between us. Like finally opening a window in a stagnant room. 2 more rounds of discussing our friendship dynamic later. We both realized it wasn't our competition with the Quislamic state that bothered him. It was his fear of becoming the joke itself. Somehow, we needed to rediscover our balance and respect. We concluded on better terms than before, ready to face the trivia stage united. Well, until last night, we ventured back to the Tipsy Scholar with a new strategy. Tentatively named Equal Partnership of Knowledge. It was basically Dave agreeing to not be such a know-it-all, and me agreeing to make no decisions without his blessing. Equality at its finest. And then, plot twist, while discussing the significant landmarks of New York during the trivia, another contestant laughed, loudly scoffing at our lack of knowledge about some obscure bodega where a historic debate apparently took place. Like an echo of our past battle, it instantly reignited competitive fury. The Quislamic state pounced at the chance to capitalize on our public blunder. Dave and I locked eyes, still nursing the remnants of last week's fragile truce. It was clear, the cosmic cycle of friendship, rivalry, and mischief was not done with us. Outcomes may change, but Dave's incredulous, really, man, face will likely accompany our defeats for years to come. So, people of the internet, am I the asshole here? Am I the villain of this story? For embarrassing my friend with my correct answer and bringing to light what I'd hope would be just another funny anecdote for our personal history books? All I know is, friendships, like trivia nights, thrive under crazy external pressures and sometimes end up with even crazier resolutions.